For the 2020 model year, the Tesla Model Y was a brand new model, no pun intended. Largely based off the Model 3 platform, the Model Y is basically a crossover version of the Model 3. But with the Model Y, even though the Model Y is still considered a compact, you have about 20% more space in the Model Y versus the Model 3 it's based off of. I'm a big fan of the Tesla products. I've owned and driven a Model 3 for the past 3 years. I'm a big fan of all vehicles. I've been in the car business 30 years. I love gas cars, but for daily commuting, an EV is pretty amazing, especially a Tesla. You have the amazing Autopilot, which is traffic aware cruise control, which allows the vehicle to brake, accelerate, and steer in its own lane. And if you want to subscribe or purchase, Full Self-Driving is available on this one. It doesn't have the software that goes with it, but it is available for subscription for $99 a month, or you can buy it for $8,000. And it is basically full self-driving. You have to supervise it. You have to keep your eyes on the road. It has a camera that monitors and makes sure you're paying attention. So you're not looking at your phone or it will shut the system off. But I drive about 24-mile round-trip commute every day. I tell the car to take me to work. I tell the car to take me home, take me to the grocery store. I have my hands on my lap. I don't even need my hands on the steering wheel. The car drives, it changes lanes, merges on the highway, passes people, and it does it almost flawlessly. There's maybe 5% of the time where I have to take over or intervene, but for the most part, it's done great because Tesla has constantly updated. In the 3 years I've owned my Tesla, the full self-driving and other things have constantly been updated. You know, every couple months, every month you get an update. It gains features, it gets safer, they fix things. A lot of recalls where you normally have to take a vehicle into the dealership to get fixed, the majority of the recalls are alleviated on Teslas over an over-the-air software update. Tesla was one of the first companies to start doing over-the-air software updates in vehicles back in 2012 when it came out with the Model S. So they're playing the long game. It's like a 100-yard dash. You know, Tesla started building EVs back in 2008 with the Tesla Roadster. So they have a head start in technology and features. They're a vertically integrated company, so the way they operate their business is far different than other manufacturers. So much to talk about. I have a tendency to ramble on about these Teslas, but there's just so much to talk about. They're so different than any other vehicle on the road. So let's talk about it. I'm Joe from Scarff Ford, and let's talk about this 2020 Model Y. So the Model Y first came out for the 2020 model year, and it's moved on to become the best-selling vehicle of any type, not best-selling EV, best-selling vehicle of any type in the whole entire world for 2023, 2024, and maybe even 2025. For those naysayers that say, oh yeah, EV technology is not there yet, they'll buy an EV when they get the batteries to get better, or the charging networks to get better. Well, guess what? If EV is good enough to be the best-selling car in the whole entire world, I think we've got there, and we got there back in 2023. Yeah, so much to talk about. So this is a dual motor. So there's a motor in the front, motor in the back, making it all-wheel drive. Also makes it really fast. It's like having two engines. Electric motors provide diesel-like torque. You have instantaneously torque right as soon as you hit the throttle. You don't have to rev an engine to its power band, its peak power band to make the power. You have it instantly. You don't need a transmission to downshift into the right gear. It only has one gear, so there's no transmissions. You just have instantaneous throttle response. It's like a slot car. I was at the slot cars not too long ago with my family, and you know, basically that's what these things are. They're like giant slot cars. You just point and shoot. Rocket ships. But not only are they fast, they're also very safe. It's one of the safest vehicles on the road, one of the safest crossovers, one of the lowest risks of rollover out of any other vehicle on the road. Don't take my word for it, do some research and you'll find out for yourself. So you have a very spacious interior. Like I mentioned, the Model Y is a compact. Look how much headroom I have. A remarkable amount of headroom. I had that front seat adjuster for my height. I got a ton of legroom back here. Very spacious. You have more space in a Model Y than a comparable gas-powered compact crossover. You don't have drive shafts going through the floor. You don't have gas tanks. You don't have exhaust systems. So that frees up all this space for more interior space. It's like a clean sheet design. You have a power rear liftgate, lots of interior space back here, cargo area protector. You can fold down the seats. This actually has a camp mode. So you can camp in it. The camp mode's fantastic because it allows you to power down systems that you don't need, that you normally use while the vehicle is driving. And it'll allow you to watch the infotainment system, or use the climate control system. And you can go a long time on camp mode. Lots of interior space. You can fold down those seats as I mentioned, but look at this. You have more storage space down here, and you have a storage pocket on this side. It's kind of bright out, so the GoPro's having a hard time, doing the contrasting lighting, but there we go. There's another storage pocket equally as big on that side. I love the minimalist styling and kind of the wedge-shaped design of the Model Y. It's understated, but very nice. There's no engine here, so we have more storage. And Tesla makes good use. There's a lot of EVs that have what should be frunks, but they have little teeny storage compartments that can't fit anything, maybe a battery charger, or they don't have anything. It's just wasted space, but Tesla obviously utilizes this space for more storage. That's also a safety feature because without an engine up front, you have a crumple zone that's 60% larger than a crumple zone on a car with an engine in the front. So you have all that space, a 60% larger crumple zone to absorb all that crash energy in a frontal collision. You don't have a big engine to get pushed into the passenger compartment in a frontal collision. Man, it's toasty day, 93 degrees, and looks like we have a software update. Like I said, Tesla's constantly pushing out over-the-air software updates. So this car came out in 2020. Since it came out, it got a software update which allowed you to view live cameras while the vehicle's parked and record. The Tesla mobile app is almost equally as amazing as this screen. The Tesla mobile app allows you to have a connection with your vehicle unlike any other vehicle. You can control charging, you can precondition the vehicle for charging, you can warm up the vehicle, cool it down before you get in it. You can also you can do scheduled departures. For instance, with scheduled departures, you can tell the vehicle, hey, every morning, Monday through Friday, I get up at 6 a.m. to leave for work. Well, then the car, 15 minutes before, at 5:45 a.m., it'll start warming up the car and warming up the battery or cooling it down depending on the weather, so it's more efficient and you have a comfortable interior when you're ready for your work. You can tell it when to charge. You can tell it to only charge when the utility rates are the cheapest. Like I set my Tesla to charge at midnight. Generally, that's when the utility rates are the cheapest. And for those of us who live here in the Pacific Northwest, we can benefit from EVs even more so because we have some of the highest gas prices in the country. And thanks to us getting a lot of our energy from hydroelectric, we actually have some of the cheapest utility rates, some of the cheapest electricity in the whole entire country. So even more so, us in the Pacific Northwest can benefit from EVs. But you're not just going to save money on gas versus electricity, you're also going to save money on maintenance because EVs require far less maintenance than a gas car because an EV only has dozens of moving parts. Internal combustion engine is very complex. The fuel systems, exhaust systems, emission systems, you have thousands of moving parts where this only has dozens. There's no oil changes. There really aren't any fluids to change. It has a coolant to cool the batteries, but I don't think that requires any changing or maintenance. You have to put wiper fluid in there, wiper blades, tires, a cabin filter. Aside from that, there's no big services to do. And you have a long warranty in the battery as well. You have a 8-year, 120,000 mile warranty in the battery and the drive units. So it'll be quite a while before you have to worry about issues with the battery. But Teslas are proving to be very robust. They're going a couple 100,000 miles and sometimes longer before the battery goes bad. And we're finding that you don't always have to replace the batteries. There are actually some companies now that can repair the batteries because when a battery goes bad in the EV, EV isn't just one big giant battery. It's basically a bunch of, thousands of batteries put together in packs. So usually it's like a few battery cells that go bad. And you just have to fix those. You don't have to replace all the battery cells. I can go on and on. So it's actually turning out that EVs are lasting longer than gas cars. The average lifespan of a gas car is about 150,000 miles, where Teslas are regularly going, 200,000 miles in the original batteries. The majority of the functionality is in the screen. We have these nice parking cameras. This has a rolling dash cam, so you can. So you basically have to add a USB drive, basically a USB flash drive, and this will allow the vehicle to record. The vehicle record while you're driving and while it's parked. So if there's suspicious activity around your vehicle, the car will say, hey, there's suspicious activity around your vehicle, and you can pull it up on your app and see what's going on, and you can toot your horn, flash your lights. I mean, it's pretty cool stuff. Also, you know, if you don't happen to be there, it will automatically record anybody, you know, near your vehicle while you're driving. You can set it up so it's constantly recording about an hour's worth of data while driving and while you're parked. When I had my car parked, here's some video of someone who got sideswiped in their vehicle. Their vehicle is parked, and he came out to me when I came out of the restaurant saying, hey, someone hit my car. Can you pull up, see if it's on the cameras on it? Luckily, I got it. Here's some video footage of someone almost running me off the road, towing their boat. You know, luckily I avoided an accident, but that's a situation where it's not as cut and dry. If that person actually hit me with the boat, if it wasn't on camera, you know, it'd be my word versus the other person's word. My wife was a claims adjuster for farmers, and she actually had to look at the video footage a few times, and she realized, yeah, you know, I was in the right, the other person's in the wrong. So, you know, think about how helpful these cameras can be. I actually witnessed an accident right in front of me where someone cut off another driver and T-boned him. And I called the Auburn police, and I sent them the footage from my Tesla, and hopefully, you know, something that could have been a little bit more complicated is definitely more cut and dry. This is amazing technology. This car is like a supercomputer. It's like it's basically a robot on wheels. There's a level of depth to this infotainment system that you don't see in any other vehicle. It's like this was designed by Apple. It's like having a vehicle controlled by an iPad. And it looks like Apple gave up on making a car, so they probably saw how good the Teslas are, and they're like, oh, we can't compete with that. So you have these amazing maps with premium connectivity, which is $10 a month, well worth it. You can get actual maps and live traffic updates, and you can also stream music. I like using YouTube Music, but you can use Apple Music, Tidal, Audible, Amazon Music. So you can stream music and podcasts and stuff right to your vehicle. It has an LTE cell phone data. You can receive LTE cell phone data right to the vehicle. You can also watch movies, YouTube, Netflix, TikTok, Twitch. You can't do it while you're driving. You have to do it while you're parked, but great thing to do while you're supercharging. And that's the other ace in the hole. So this has a fully charged range of about 300 miles. But the thing is most people don't drive 300 miles a day. Most people don't drive 100 miles a day. So this is well within most people's daily commute. So, you know, you having to fast charge it is kind of probably going to be far and few between, probably on a road trip. But Tesla has an amazing charging network. You can see within 10 miles, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 superchargers. So you can charge to 80% in about 20 minutes. And you have a trip planner. So you basically you put in where you want to go. I could tell the car to drive me to Boston, across the country, or Spokane, and it'll plan the whole trip for you. It won't leave you hanging. It will not send you away where there's not charging. It will tell you where to charge for, how long to charge for, how much range you'll have when you get to your destination, how much range you'll have when you get to the next charger. So that takes all the range anxiety out of owning an EV. And the Tesla trip planner is very complex. It takes into consideration outside ambient temperature, wind speed, tire pressure, elevation. So it has a very, very accurate range estimate. And there's no other EV that I've driven that has a trip planner like Tesla. So that's another ace in the hole as far as Tesla goes. The charging, the trip planner, the level of integration. You can also play video games. You obviously can't do this while you're driving, but if you want to kill some time while you're charging, you can play games. Some of the driving games, you can actually use the actual steering wheel in the car and the brake and accelerator to drive the car in the game. You can also get like a Xbox style controller to play some of these games. And it's pretty good processor too. You know, this car is 5 years old, but this processor, what's going on? So the screen froze on me. So a little Tesla tip. It's like, have you ever had your iPhone lock up on you and you basically restart it? Well, basically you hold down both these buttons simultaneously, and in about 30 seconds that reboots the screen, and generally that will alleviate any issues with the vehicle. if you have any issues with the screen and stuff like that. I've had it happen with my car a couple times. I rebooted it, and it's just like, you know, restarting your computer. It basically cleans it out and fixes things. So there we go, it's starting to fire up. All right, perfectly fine now. Just needed to reboot. Then you have the silly whoopee cushion, multi-truck recorder, you have romance mode. Some of the things are silly, some of the things are actually kind of cool. Just so much to talk about in this vehicle. There's a lot of voice commands. There's 140 different voice commands, so you can make climate control settings, put in the defroster, turn the wipers on and off, open the charge port, just by doing voice commands. You don't even have to take your eyes off the road. Well, I can go on and on about this Tesla. It's 96 degrees, and I don't have the AC blasting in this thing because you wouldn't be able to hear the video. Just a quick glimpse of myself. I don't want to show me too long because I'm a sweaty mess. I'm gonna go cool off. Thanks so much for joining me in this little walk around of this Tesla Model Y. Amazing vehicle. I do these long-winded videos on these things. If you're still with me after about 20 minutes, you're a real trooper, but maybe you're serious about buying a Tesla and you're looking for some serious information. I've bought and sold hundreds of Teslas over the years. I've owned a Tesla for 3 years. I consider myself a Tespert. Maybe I don't have as much knowledge as someone who actually works for Tesla, but I think for most people I've ran into in the car business, I have generally more knowledge about these vehicles than a lot of other people. They're fantastic, great vehicles. If you're thinking about owning a Tesla for your next car, it's a wise choice. You know, they're not for everybody. There's pros and cons, but I think a lot of the pros outweigh the cons. We're Scarff Ford. We've been in business 103 years. We sell new Fords, new Isuzus, and a very wide variety of premium vehicles, including a lot of different EVs and a lot of Teslas. If you enjoy this content, please like and subscribe if you're watching on YouTube. We have content coming out all the time, and we'll see you next time.